Robbie, what's your initial thoughts after the game?
Rinse and repeat. First half, best we've played. I think everybody in the stadium could see it. To come here and dominate the ball like we did and get the equaliser. Coming back again from a mistake, another mistake. Just clear the ball. Young Elijah, he recovered in the well in the game. Then Kyle with a great goal. Nick at the post. Chances. Ricardo one-on-one. They've had a couple, haven't they? But we were magnificent first half, and the message half time was, don't let me stand with you guys again saying, do you know what, another good performance, but we've lost again. And it's another error leading to a goal. I don't know why, when they've changed tactic in the second half, you see it, they pressed. So the message was, put him behind, what we think is a good idea, to play to our fullback who's running back towards his own goal. Yeah, you might say that Ashgar wants the ball in that scenario, so he's either got to set it or get a foul. But no, the ball should have been played to in the first place. Then one of the most dangerous centre forward in the league is left on his own, and he scores. So again, even then, we've had a header from Bunks, we've had chances. Again, it's another situation. The test was, how far have we come with this young group? And I thought they were brilliant, but it's boring saying this now every week, isn't it? It's the same thing, and people look at the result, it's another loss. But we are 6 months into a journey, and their managers said it, before the game and after the game, that we're the best team he's played on the two occasions, and we are 2 years behind these in terms of the development of the players, and we're 2 years behind York. And this team will be eventually, when they eradicate the mistakes, and they're gonna learn. They're gonna learn, and this is what the level they're at. But again, it's the same story, and it's boring because we have to come from a goal behind again from a mistake. They're taking everything on board. The press was right. We dominated the game. So everything we're saying to them, they're that hungry to do well. They're doing everything we've asked of them. But again, we miss our chances. We make mistakes, and they score theirs. How often do we ever, our team, get mistakes and our centre forward is left unmarked 6 yards out? Tell me. Never happens. But it's frustrating, and trust me, our fans again, to do this journey, brilliant, and they were so appreciative at the end. But again, it's another loss. But we, in the two games, York and here, we were brilliant. But people say, look at him going on again, they were brilliant, but we were, I could only be honest. And if Wealdstone, we were terrible, absolutely terrible. The last two games in 2 defeats, everybody knows how good we are, but keep making mistakes.
You don't want to dwell on mistakes too much, I know, but how frustrating the first 2 minutes to not just hoop the ball clear and be 1-0 down against the league leaders.
What do you think, Bill? I'm looking at that. But I know there's a resilience in this team. We've taken 19 points from losing positions this season. They've took 6. So I know if we go behind, but we can't start like that. The message is just get the control in the game, do the right things, make no mistakes. And there's a mistake again. But they're going to learn. They're going to learn. I thought, a few of our lads had a difficult night. That's what the change we made. But even then, Bunks made a great clearance off the line. There was some brilliant defending, throwing themselves in front of stuff. So, I commend my team for that. The desire to keep the ball at the net in that scenario. But that's what it should be like on every time somebody attacks. Every time somebody attacks. But again, the 2 goals. Let's leave the number 9 unmarked in the box.
But you got the goal back. Good resilience to get through Kyle McAllister. He's on form. Those two goals and 2, they're great place shots.
Yeah, I think he's 18 goal involvements now this season. His best season 20, so he's still got lots of time to do it. He's a massive player for us, one of the best in the league. Jaden Clark's, I think, on one of his best seasons, 13 goal involvements. And knows he's got 12 goal involvements. Knows he just needed a little bit of a rest tonight. Because he's been magnificent. So we got players who are going to have their best seasons. The youngsters, I thought Chibi again and Tate they controlled the game. So we've gone to York, dominated, but they've won the game 2-1, and come here in the first half, and it seemed like, and even the crowd behind me saying they couldn't wait for the halftime whistle. But again, we've lost the game, and you've seen the game. You all have followed us all season. Am I talking absolute nonsense, or am I being honest and true and how close we are? Again, how many corners have we had? We've had 239 corners before tonight, 37 more than any other team. But how many first contacts? We've got the second best XG in the league big moments, York are top. We have our moments. Ricardo's got to score, yeah? Nick's at the post. You know, Doid's at the end. You're thinking this is his moment now. Gets in front, doesn't get a clean strike off. You know, so again, this is our season. And we are, the pleasing thing is that I know what this group can achieve, and the turnaround in players is big, but that's what it's going to take. Jimmy was saying the same thing. He had to it took him 2.5 years to get to where they've got to.
Ricardo Reece up front again. You mentioned after the York game as well, maybe a bit isolated at times, took his chances. Do you think it's best position with the one, or does he prefer to be with the two, do you reckon?
Well, he's had a great chance to score 1v1 with the keeper, and they're the moments where Ricardo, you think, should score. He's disappointed with that. He knows he should score. But again, you know, if I could go 2 up, you know, I might. But right now, I don't think we've got other centre forwards in the building who are confident enough, you know, to go into the team. I think they're lacking confidence. Listen, they've done great. They've done great. And again, but I see their centre forward tonight, and I see Ollie Pearce on Saturday smashing into people fairly, holding people off, bringing people into play, getting fouls. And right now, I think, you know, the reason why I've gone 1 up is because I'm not sure right now a 2 suits us. Because I think, you know, our other centre forwards at the club, Temi, Kari, who left out the squad tonight, and Doidge, lack a bit of confidence because they've not had a run of games. You know, Temi has, but, you know, with Nick, who I thought was lively tonight again, we wanted him to get closer to Ricardo, and he did. But again, we can pick holes in everything, as we do. Don't believe me, we'll watch it on the bus. But the Forest Green fans who watch that at the end there, they know it. 2 mistakes. Like Saturday, 2 mistakes. And it's costing us. So surely it will change. Where every mistake we're making is leading to a goal. Surely it's got to change. And if it doesn't change, we all know what happens, Bill.
Hopefully it'll change on Saturday. There'll be a huge game against Carlisle. York and Rochdale are going to battle for the top of the table. How important is that Carlisle game coming up because of the way the playoff is positioned to line up at the moment?
But every game's big when you're a Forest Green and a player and staff and club. It is big. So that's why I wanted to go test us against the 2 best teams in the league, and I let their assistant manager spoke on Saturday, said how good we were. It's like a League 2 game. Jimmy, I'm sure all their staff will come out tonight and say it was like League 2 game. What a team, the best you've played. Again, we're getting all the plaudits, but we're losing games. And something's got to change. Something's got to change. A bit of luck. A mistake that doesn't end in the back of our net. Because you've seen it, you know, you, Reece, and all the staff here have seen tonight how good the team we are and what they're doing. But we're losing games. It's mind-blowing and it's baffling. And I don't want to dig individuals out. I don't. You know, because they're all trying, but inevitably, we're at this level, me included, because we will make mistakes. You know, if we didn't make mistakes as a group, we'd be in the Premier League. You know, I'm at this level because this is the kind of manager I am at this level. Us as a group will make mistakes, but we're making mistakes together. Maybe I've made mistakes tonight, but I'll look in the mirror and think, what could we have done better? Us. Because my players don't intend to make mistakes and they're going to learn. And then people will say, well, let's get experience back in. You know, we've had experience at the club for the last 3 seasons, 2 relegations, and we didn't go up last year. But we're playing, I think, a much better style of football. We're playing attacking football. We've got young, dynamic players who need to learn quickly. We know that. So we're going to continue on this journey, in this path, because we are very, very, very good side, and nobody can tell me any different. But we're making mistakes together, and we will eventually, whether it's this year, next year, in 2 years, be where Rochdale and York are, because that's the time they've had to develop a group, and we've exceeded expectation. Our fans now and us think we should be coming to York and Rochdale and winning. That's what we think we should be doing, and we're disappointed we haven't won, and we're 6 months in. And people have got to understand that, and we're going to get the time to do that, because the whole club is going to be in a far better place in 2 years or 3 years. You've got to trust in us all on that, myself, Dale, Asif and Mark. And you can see it. We're 6 months into a journey. And we've got to get in the playoffs, though, because on our day, if you can play like that, but again, and just the fine margins, coming to a Rochdale, going to a York, going to a Boreham Wood, going to a Carlisle, going to a Scunthorpe. We've lost in those games, not Boreham Wood yet. I'm not saying yes, we might win. They won't want to play us. You know, the manager said nobody will want to face the players if you get in there because they know what we can do. And if the momentum comes at 15 games to go, we're going to be a threat to anybody.